while Bean is enjoying his best vice president life, we are checking in with his daughter Carly to celebrate her birthday. So we're at a point in Bean's life where he's basically just going to work, coming and going. It's boring as heck. So I decided to check on Carly, and it turns out it's already her birthday. She is going to be a toddler already. It's absolutely crazy. Um, they live in a beautiful apartment, by the way. It's so gorgeous. But I have Eliana heading on over here to cook a little bit of cake. No available oven? You don't have an oven. This beautiful kitchen, and you never thought, maybe I should have an oven. I guess we're gonna have to order a cake. Thank goodness for the Piece of Cake Bakery where we can go ahead and order a cake. Okay, we've ordered a hamburger cake, and we're gonna go ahead and add some birthday candles. And then we're going to, I think, quickly plan just a small event. I don't even know if they really know anybody. And obviously she's not exactly going to be inviting over Bean because she has not let Roberto know about her little transgression. And he's never really questioned why Carly looks absolutely nothing like either of them. All right, they have one friend named Marlene who's coming over to visit. It looks like that's all that any of them know. Just to quickly introduce Carly's family, her assumed father is Roberto. He is an elder also, and he works as a wildlife enthusiast. Didn't quite expect that because he's dressed very conservatively, and it doesn't seem to fit that whole vibe. Eliana, stay-at-home mom, and struggling a bit. She's been overdoing it. She really just kind of rushed around to get this party together, and it's a little too much for her. Her half-brother is Roberto, and he is a high school student at the moment, and kind of getting into his teen years. And Orson is her other half-brother. He's apparently also outside, so we can't get to him. And he is kind of just aiming for playtime captain, also a C student, not super great students or anything. They're pretty well off considering what Roberto does for work, so I suspect there was some family money somewhere along the way. The relationship between these two is actually astronomical. I just saw Roberto's a kleptomaniac. Maybe it's not family money. Maybe the conservationist thing is a little bit to hide how he really gets money. I'm just saying, yeah, kleptomaniac, and this apartment's really nice. I think he's been stealing some pretty high value things along the way. It did surprise me to discover that Roberto and Eliana have such an amazing relationship. Now, I don't know if this happened before or after the little tryst with Bean, but whatever the case may be, now in their elder years, they're very happy together. And I think that is a big part of why she has not let him know about Carly. She doesn't want to mess up that relationship that they have. And, it works out pretty well that she and Bean are really not getting along because she is kind of glad he's not pursuing things and doesn't really want to know his daughter at this point in time. But as she is getting into her elder years, I will say, she's lived quite a long life, and she is feeling, I think, a little guilt about all of it. I think that's kind of what contributes to her struggles with emotion and such. She's holding on to this, and she really wants to let him know, but she doesn't know how to tell him. She's afraid it's going to ruin this whole perfect situation. And, as time goes on, it's getting harder and harder to tell him the truth. All of that said, we're going to go ahead and help little Carly blow out her candles. Roberto, show you can tell stories, but we are going to celebrate this little girl's birthday. she is completely unaware of the drama that's just stewing under the surface. And, it's hard to say whether she'll ever actually get to know her father, her real father. Oh, geez. You guys just went right to it before I even had a chance. There we go. Celebrating her birthday. She's so excited. All right, we're just going to randomize traits for any of his children. It will be later on that we will figure out which of them will take over as the next generation. So she is melodic and silly, melodic, naturally drawn to music and rhythm, and obviously silly. She's just kind of a little goofy and curious about exploring the world. We're going to give her a quick makeover. And the next generation is Matcha, and that is associated with the color green. So I will be kind of sticking with a green theme for the most part with all of his children, just so that we kind of can clearly see the next generation in all of them. Because they live in the city in kind of a really expensive apartment, they all kind of dress like a little bit, what I would call city style. So I tried to draw on my idea, I guess, of that city style. It's not really exactly great, but I don't have the greatest sense of style, so yeah, we'll just kind of go with it. I was also limited by green, so that made it extra fun, but this is probably one of my favorite outfits. And this, I really wish that we had more glove type options or mittens for children. It's really frustrating that we don't, because I would have liked for her to have some of these like cream colored gloves on, but there really is very limited in there. But and then I just kind of did a simple pulled back style. I don't think I've ever actually used this one on a toddler before, so I kind of felt like this was the place to do it. All right, we gave her room a little bit of a makeover. It's not exactly like the warmest place to live in. And as you can see, Eliana only recently has gained parenting skill. I think, yeah, they're just not exactly natural parents. And so it's not until now that they really are beginning to, settle into that lifestyle. They've both been very busy, obviously, to be able to afford this. I do wonder if perhaps Eliana had some kind of other job before her elder years, and maybe she's retired from that. I know that we're making assumptions that Roberto, being a bit of a thief, has paid for a lot of this, but it's also possible that Eliana has retired as well. But yeah, she clearly spent a lot of time someplace else and not focused on parenting. But all right, that is the incredibly short episode that we are doing for today. Just kind of wanted to check in with her. There's not a lot to do with Bean right now other than just keep pushing through. So I knew that it was going to be pretty boring to sit and watch him just, do the repetitive thing right now. At this stage in his life, yeah, it is definitely just kind of keeping his nose to the grindstone, and we're hoping to get him to the point that he burns out so that he's ready to move on to more exciting things. Until next time, thank you so much for watching. Have an amazing day. Stay cozy, stay curious, and keep on chasing moonbeams.